What's up guys, Noor here and welcome to Book of Showtime Sub-Chapter 6. As always, if you guys enjoy these videos, be sure to like and share with your friends and also drop a comment that helps with the algorithm. And if you have a topic you'd like me to cover for Book of Showtime, be sure to leave it in the comment section down below or anywhere you can reach me on social media or the Book of Showtime Discord. Before we start guys, I just want to say off rip that I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the support the last month and change. Especially with the anniversary chapter. That was something that I asked for help with like 4 days out and everyone came together in what was truly a team effort. I'm not going to get too personal on here, but that really helped me through a dark time. So thanks again guys, and please continue to support me. We're almost at 30 subscribers. And remember, at 30 subscribers we'll do the nice little giveaway. So once again, thank you guys. Here's to another year of Book of Showtime. So last week I was scrolling through YouTube and I saw the thumbnail for this game Halston that PlayStation that uploaded the trailer, and I decided to check it out. And initially the trailer didn't grab me, but then I saw how the camera worked in Halston. Now I may be wrong, but I don't think there's an isometric game out there that goes from top down to third person in combat and lets you rotate the camera when you're in rooms to see new angles. Some games might have some of those features, never have both, and never both in a survival horror game at that. There's a demo available on Steam, and as it stands it has two parts. One part to show off the puzzles and atmosphere, and another part to show off the combat, with a third part due out later this year. Sanka, the developers, they nailed it here. They nailed the puzzles, how you open up the map, the atmosphere, everything. They know what they're doing. The house portion, which was the puzzle, that was around a half an hour. There was no combat, just puzzles and exploration, and it was really good, really engrossing. The obstacles you face aren't too hard. There was a fun challenge provided, and I do recommend trying this game out if you have a chance. The combat was really solid too. It's not too gimmicky. It's different, but it's not too gimmicky. So all this together, I think this is probably going to be one of the better survival horror games of 2024. Best good luck to Sanka. I hope this game does really well. So in Chapter 30, we wondered what went wrong with the New York Mets. One reason that the Mets might have been subpar might be the change in leadership. Catcher James McCann was traded to the Baltimore Orioles, and Chris Bassett departed to the Toronto Blue Jays in free agency. Both of those guys were tremendous locker room leaders, professionals on and off the field and to the media, and you have to wonder what losing those two did behind the scenes. I'm not insinuating the team has a locker room issue like the media wants you to believe, but with a lot of younger guys on the team, a lot of younger guys coming into the fold this year and next year, did you see the prospects we've got in those Scherzer and Verlander trades? Which, that was a fleecing now that we're looking at how these guys are performing. Now Scherzer down for the year. I love it. But no, with a newer generation of players for the Mets coming on to the club, you kind of want to make sure that everyone is committed to winning, committed to the bigger picture and not just themselves. And I think guys like Bassett and McCann, they were really good for keeping a lot of our younger players focused. So on the Book of Showtime anniversary chapter, my friend Entity left this comment. Great chapter as usual, and congrats on the year. And definitely agree with Mass Effect 2 being the best of the series. Legion is my favorite crew member. What about you? Now I did respond to Entity, but at the same time I decided why not make a tier maker video of all the Mass Effect squad mates. But when I went to edit the video, I wasn't really feeling the energy, and I kind of want to reserve the tier maker videos for things that I A, really care about, or B, that are requested of me. This would have just been a bonus video, but here's the final list on screen. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know where you would rank Mass Effect squad mates. Jack and Tally Sims to the front, please. Those are the two girls I always romance them no matter when I play. I haven't played Mass Effect Andromeda, which is why all the Andromeda squad mates are in the NA tier. I didn't betray Samara in her loyalty mission, which is why Morgan's is in the NA tier as well. And I also, when I played Mass Effect 3 the first time, I played on Wii U, and that didn't have the Javik DLC, so that's why Javik is down there. Otherwise, I stand by all of these rankings. In Chapter 31, we talked about Fortnite collaborations we'd like to see. Originally, this video was going to be a special May the 4th chapter of Book of Showtime, but I would have been doing it at the last minute and I didn't want to rush. Plus, I feel it was more fun to do collaborations we haven't seen yet, but otherwise, originally this was going to be the top 7 Star Wars characters I wanted to see in Fortnite. Number 7, Jyn Erso. Number 6, Cassian Andor. Number 5, IG-11. Number 4, Cad Bane. Number 3, Lando Calrissian. Number 2, Cal Kestis. And number 1, Bo-Katan. Obviously, I mentioned Bo-Katan and Cal Kestis in Chapter 31, as at the beginning we did existing collaborations I'd like to see added onto. I think Bo-Katan has a pretty big chance of making it in. I think when Ahsoka goes live, when she's available for everyone to unlock, they're going to add some new Star Wars skins. I wouldn't be surprised if Bo-Katan was one of the skins they add. In Chapter 33, we constructed a new PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale game. So we broke the roster down into 4 categories, and one of them was characters that we would add. And originally I was going to put in the video Sam Porter Bridges from Death Stranding, Celine Visage from Returnal, and William Adams from Neo. Now, I didn't have these characters in the main chapter as I had the weakest opinions about them, since in the case of Death Stranding, I haven't touched it. In the case of Returnal, I only played about an hour of it. And in the case of Neo, I did play a little bit, but I just can't get into any of those Souls games. The Surge 2 and Star Wars Jedi, those were like the only ones I really cared about. Also, I forgot to talk about Heihachi from Tekken. I didn't realize I had forgotten until well into that chapter's development. I was kind of rushing to get that chapter done because I assumed that I would be playing Starfield like crazy, but Starfield, I don't know, I played it for like an hour and I kind of don't want to play it. I'm not going to let the hype. Todd is not going to get me, okay? It took me 11 years to play Skyrim. I can wait another 11 to play Starfield. But no, I didn't realize we had forgotten about Heihachi, and I would have put him in the updates or replace category, as, spoiler, he's dead, and I feel that Jin would have been an interesting replacement, though I can go either way on this. I'm not a big Tekken fan, I'm not big into the Tekken lore, so let me know down below if you guys, who you would want to see replace Heihachi from Tekken, if anybody at all. So Pranal asks, which indie games deserve some love? Independent games are a lot bigger now. Like, it doesn't feel like indie games are small, tiny, digital only games. They actually get plenty of physical release, major press, they're up for Game of the Year awards, they're huge. But for this short list that I've constructed, I kind of wanted to stick to indie games that were a little under the radar, since there's a ton of indie games that have gotten massive press. You have Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice and the Stanley Parable. I really enjoyed those games, but everybody knows about those games, so let's talk about things that no one talks about. Number 1, Daymare 1998. I'm mentioning this because Daymare's been on my mind a lot. We just had Sandcastle a couple of weeks ago, and by the way, thank you guys so much for all the love on the review chapter. That's over 50 views. That's really cool. But Daymare, man, I love the game. 1998, I really want to go back and replay. Maybe with October coming up, and now that Alone in the Dark has been unfortunately pushed back, there's some space for another survival horror game. So Daymare 1998, that's definitely a game I'm going to look at replaying soon. It's a beautiful love letter to Resident Evil. It doesn't have the budget or the polish, but it has the heart, and I think that's the most important factor. I will alwaase advocate for Daymare 1988. It's fantastic. Number 2, Chernobylite. So how about a different kind of horror game? This game is one part base building survival sim, one part survival horror game. It's a slower and calmer kind of horror game. It's light on the tension and light on the scares, yet it was also one of the better titles that I played that released in 2021. There's like 2 moments in the game that like are really scary, but otherwise it's pretty peaceful for a horror game. I had a lot of fun with Chernobylite. There's choices that you make that can alter the story, and the missions are open and dynamic, but there's still a fair amount of contained. I don't feel overwhelmed when I'm loading into the map. I think Chernobylite is an overlooked title, and looking at the reviews, I think most people agree that it's a solid game. Number 3, Going Under. Shifting from zombies and post-apocalyptic horror to the horrors of internships, Going Under is a roguelite ARPG game that sees players going through procedural generated dungeons facing off against failed startup companies. Now, I know that doesn't sound as glamorous, but it's a really fun game. It doesn't take itself too seriously. I love the art style, the puns, all the weapons were like office supplies. It was one of the sleeper hits of 2020. And this might be a hot take, I think it's better than Hades. That's right, I said it. Number 4, Pumpkin Jack. Let's stick with the fun, silly games. Pumpkin Jack is like a throwback to the PS2 era of games. You have this stylized beat 'em up / platformer game. You're playing as this dude with a pumpkin on his noggin. You're fighting against other strange creatures. You're going on this crazy adventure. What more do you want? Pumpkin Jack never takes itself too seriously. It's a very charming and lighthearted game. It's not too long either, so go ahead, give it a try. It's available on most platforms, and with October coming up, which I just realized, you got Pumpkin Jack, Chernobylite, Daymare. These are all nice games to play for October. Finally, number 5, Crimson Alliance. Let's take it way back to round off this list, which way back is 2011 now. Goodness, we're getting old, guys. Crimson Alliance is a class-based ARPG freemium, which, by the way, do you guys know what a freemium is? We have a lot of free-to-play games, but we really don't have a lot of freemiums. There was 3 classes in the game, and you basically had to buy the class that you wanted, but you can also get all the classes in the bundle for a big discount. Crimson Alliance is sure as heck wasn't Diablo 3, but in terms of a solid, light, fun co-op experience, it hits all the marks. During the lockdown in 2020, I was up late one night and I decided to randomly just go back and finish this game. I was like, you know what, I never finished Crimson Alliance, I want to play it, why not just go back and play it? This would be fine if I didn't just spend close to $400 on Steam games during the summer sale like 2 days before. That honestly tells you all you need to know about me in a nutshell. I buy all these cool new modern games, and I go back and I play this old Xbox Live Arcade game. Now, if you haven't played Crimson Alliance and you have some interest in it, go play it now. Now, I'm not telling you to go play it now in the sense that this game is really, really good. You kind of have to. This game is only available on Xbox 360, and in July of next year, they're going to be shutting down the 360 marketplace. Crimson Alliance is one of many games that are only available on 360 that will sadly be lost to time when it gets shut down. So everyone, let's get out the prayer circle, let's cross our fingers, and hope that Microsoft decides to do one more wave of backwards compatible games before then. In fact, let me know down below, are there any games that are on 360 that will just be lost to time that you think people should play? Let people know down in the comments, because the time is now. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe. Inshallah, I will see you in the next chapter.